then you need to make it happen and then talk to them, right? That's the difference, okay? But that way, every time I go to do a recall, I say the same thing. To my dogs, I say, let's go. That's their cue to move between exercises, right? My hand is always up, right? I tell them on the way there what we're going to do. I typically do a jump up setup with my dogs, right? Then I probably tell them again. A lot of times I touch my dog when I'm setting them up. After I set them up, then I assume the position, and I say I'm ready, because that's what I do in the ring. Except on go-outs, then I say I am, and then I do. Because the other thing, if you notice, every time I did it, it looked the same, right? It looked exactly the same. So when I go in the ring, to the dog, it is the same, right? It's not the dog who changes in the ring, it's the handler, right? Because frankly, your dog doesn't know that there's a difference between this side of the baby gates and that side, right? That you paid, $35 to be on that side of the baby gate, and that there's a judge over there. They know that you change when you walk through those gates, and you don't do the same things, right? That's the key, right? You go in there and you do your job like normal, no matter how nervous you are, then the dog is okay with it, right? It's not nerves or the ring. Now, after a while, you can start to condition a dog that when we go in the ring, mom acts weird and this is a bad place to be. You can create that association over time, right? But I still think the primary problem is that it's different. It's just, we're different, we act different, we do things differently. Whereas in training, I do things exactly, and I mean, I might be doing games, whatever, but the overall picture for the dog is the same. So when they go in the ring, it's real familiar, right? It doesn't feel weird to them. And it doesn't feel weird to me, right? So even when I am really, really nervous, when it's the final round at the NOC, and I would really like to do really well, right? So, people say, well, you're not nervous. I mean, hello, I'm really nervous, right? I'm amped, I'm nervous, right? I actually don't like to be too flat, right? I don't.
Some nerves is good.
Right, because you gotta have a little edge. Like if I go to a show and I'm just like, whatever. Like, that's no fun. My dog's not really good. I'm not really sharp then. That's not good. I need a little edge, right? So that's good, right? But if your nerves make you act differently, then it's a huge problem for the dog.
Now, did I act differently then?
Well, you did a little bit more disconnecting, when you went in the ring. You allowed the judge or the stewards to take your attention a few times, right? You can talk to your dog, even you can talk to them, but let the dog think you're talking to her, right? So when the judge says to me, good morning, it's a beautiful day. Yes, it is. Okay, good luck. Thank you. All right, I say all those things to my dog. Right?
Jill Jones would never go for that.
And if there's any spots
we have a judge around here
that would want you to look, so then you train them, right? So I train a couple of disconnects with my dog, but I train them, right? So I come in the ring with my dog, sit, I take off my leash, my dog is looking at me, I disconnect for a second, and I say thank you to the steward for taking the leash, and I even say it if I'm dropping it on a table, because it's trained behavior, right? Then I reconnect with my dog, and off we go. But that's trained disconnect, right? I will, on articles, I will train, my whole, whatever, I could be scenting the article at the time. How you send your dog after the sit, both times. And then I'll reward here, right? Trained. If I need to disconnect, those better be trained, right? Not just things that happen that don't normally happen when you're in training, right? So you can train anything that you know is going to happen to you in the ring. You can use to your advantage if only you would train it beforehand, right? Because then it's familiar. Then if you pair that with some rewards, right? If you disconnected from, if you said after the sit both times and came back and spit the dog a cookie every time, in the ring, when you did that, you'd have a dog who went cool, this is where she spits me a cookie, right? And that would be a cue, a
And that would
positive
make me
cue.
more comfortable, because I'm used to it too.
Right, exactly, and that's where things fall apart for people in the ring. They don't train them to that detail, right? If you watch videos of me in the ring, you could compare show to show to show to show to show, and you would find they look exactly the same, right? You know, every once in a blue moon something weird happens, you know, but then you go, oh, all right, I gotta train them. I mean, it was so funny. The first time I did the new rules, right? It was I think a sit stay and then a down stay, get your leash. And normally, heart curls very far away from me on a down stay. So when we did lines of stays,
Yeah.
I would curl her and then I'd step into heel position because the judge is watching all the people or whatever, so it's no big deal, right? So I would but here now I'm by myself. I curl my dog and she's like there, and I'm thinking, oh shit, I don't know if I'm supposed to step into position or not. Like, am I gonna lose points if I move, or am I gonna lose points because she's not in position? I don't know. And I was like all freaked out. I'm like, oh, this is something weird. Like that doesn't happen to me in the ring, you know. So then I'm like, okay, after that I asked a couple judges, what should I do? I started working on getting her to stay tighter to me when she curled, you know, and it was like, okay, I gotta get that all ironed out because I can't have this weird thing happen when I go in the ring, you know.
So when she does the down, do you want her to, is she still doing the curl down?
For the stay, for like a 1 minute stay,
Oh,
or
for
a
the
get
one-
your
oh,
leash,
okay,
yeah.
for that.
For that, I mean, I know on the command discrimination you can't move. At least
Okay.
that's what we've been told.
Yeah.
You can't move, you
But
shouldn't
does she
move.
curl on that, on the command?
She's not supposed to, but she has a few times, and it's a work in progress
Yeah,
still.
I'm working on that
Like,
too.
ugh.
Yeah.
Never happens in training because she's always in a freaking shoe, but it's not. So I had to change my signal. The last week before we left, I changed my signal, so we'll see if that works.
Okay.
But anyway, so train those pieces, right? All right, so now you're gonna pick her up and you're gonna do your with me. You're gonna give her one with me command when you pick her up, just to make you feel better, even though eventually she's not gonna need it. She's gonna know if this is a training session, I must be on it with me. Right, you're gonna give her about half of that leash.
It's under her. Do I fix it now?
If it's stuck around her leg, I would fix it. Because you need to be able to pop her in. Okay, so release her. Tell her, okay, with me.
Okay, with me.
Good, and now you can praise her because she looks lovely at the moment. Good. Now, just turn around, go the other way.
Not holding in position. That's why I like the reining. Because your rein.
Tell her she's good. Good.
You went like this.
Now walk her over by the distraction here.
And have my hand in here.
Yeah, so put your hand down. Now stop, back up.
But high. That's
Up.
it. Good. Now forward.
Right, so the
Rein
second
back,
you
high
need
back,
to be on her, good girl. If she disconnects from you,
And release.
right, you need to immediately stop and move away from
Okay.
her.
And then what we normally do is keep either the front mouth
I went
between
for
our
a
right.
collar.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, let's do the
Yeah.
leash
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we gotta get it good on leash, then we'll get it
I
good
just
off.
reloaded another cookie.
Good, good.
Because if I have to reach behind me or go in my pockets to get the cookie, it's easier just to have a handful.
Okay, now we're gonna have let me get some more distractions
All
now.
in this position.
Um,
Okay? So I think the hardest part for you is to feel comfortable holding the leash in your left hand. Because any kind of food is real good here. You're gonna be absolutely fine. So
Now,
when you
pop.
because he's gonna have, you've done that for so long, so if he goes to drop his head, he can.
Now,
you got it.
stop,
If he-
step back.
Reminding him to keep his head.
She goes with
And
you
he also
fine.
wants you to stay back.
She
Okay?
does it,
That's
good
the-
girl, good. Walk her up towards the flower petals
Forward.
again.
Okay. Bring up and back, up and back. That's it, up and back.
Walk towards the flower petals, stop.
And reward it your head.
Good girl. Pat her and tell her she's good. That's good.
Can you see it?
Good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
look in the
just
mirror.
sort of rotate yourself so you're both going the same
You can see that
direction
his butt's
again.
remaining
And
in-
walk
in
towards the
position.
flower petals again.
Okay, and your hand has to stay.
She's used to those are mine.
Forward. Pop it back,
Good.
back,
Good.
back. He looks out to me. He went out and then.
And she could be on either side, right?
Ran,
Right.
He went back in.
You'll both be more comfortable probably when she's on the left. I wouldn't let her get behind you.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Don't let her get right
So
behind you.
It's because he's.
Alright, so walk over like,
But with every other step that you do, you're putting him right back in.
walk over towards your cooler.
Yeah, it's just a little, and that's why I let it go.
Stop.
Because if it were the.
Back up, pop.
He's a lot more pressure.
And when you pop, put two hands on the leash and pop. Right, if I do have to give a pop, make it count. Right, I'd rather not nag her about it. Right, I only popped her about 3 or 4 times the whole time I had her. But each one was a firm little pop. Walk towards your cooler again.
So very slight amount of ease. Yeah.
Good girl. What a smart girl you
That's
are.
so
Good for you.
Then you release it.
Good
girl.
job.
See this?
Good.
Just hit that
Good.
leash,
Now do a spin or something and then just pet her a little bit. Give her a little.
right?
Good. Give her a little loving. Good.
Yeah, oh, yes,
Make sure when you freeze her, she knows she's still on it with you.
So I
Right.
literally put it right.
Good. Now don't even give her another command, just start walking again.
Bring him back, bring him back, bring him back, whether you're in or out for 8 months, because
And
he's.
walk towards the coolers. Stop. Make sure. Oh, good girl. Good girl. I mean, she gets what you want. You just haven't been making her do it. Right? You've been trying to micromanage, cheerlead, and
It's also very good.
beg her to do it and talk her into it. Right? She can do it. She can totally do it. And you know what? She's gonna like it better. Because she's gonna like the fact that she's doing it and she gets it. Right? So it's not like it's a bad thing at all. Right? You got a lot more dog when you do that.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's gonna be your first test. So put her on a lie down for a second.
Jamie, here, settle.
Just plant stop. It's one of these things I
Good. Okay? So you gotta do this. So every training session starts like this. I would suggest you put the leash on her before you let her out of the crate. And then when you let her out of the crate, you make sure she comes right to you.
Okay.
If you wanna let her release her out of the crate with a with me command, that's fine. Okay? But she needs to come out of that crate and be with you. When you're doing a training session, whether you're by yourself, training with friends, in a class, whatever, she is on a with me the whole time or she's on a lie down. Or she's doing an actual exercise,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
When you do that, come up,
And
sit.
for, in the beginning, I would have a leash on her, right, so you can correct with the leash.
Yeah.
When you find you seldom need to correct with the leash, well, actually, before you even remove the leash,
Because you need to be working on your
in
sit
a week or
separate.
two, start making any corrections you need to make, even though she's on leash, make the correction with your
So
hand,
we do, come up,
right, so she gets comfortable with that.
Okay.
foot,
Then and only then you can
Fix this
remove the
front
leash,
come
okay?
up, sit,
Now,
go.
when you remove the leash, I
Good.
wouldn't
See how he
just,
fixes front feet? That's what I teach them when they're early
you
on.
need to strike a balance, you need to do some off-leash work with her, right? Because you need for her to understand that the rules apply when the leash is off. But you don't wanna work her off-leash all the time,
You're talking about inhaling.
in everything,
Feet,
in every exercise that you do, right? In every exercise that you do.
I wanna bring that left
Because
foot up to meet the right.
if you just keep her off leash all the time, you're doing an awful lot of off leash transitions. And
Well,
you need
again, I
those to
think
be
that's
really
because
good,
the food was
right?
probably
So
close.
to
So he-
condition
like,
them
I
to
didn't
be
let him
good,
have it. didn't
I
let
would
him have
do
it
most
sit
of my
straight.
transitions with her
I
on a
didn't let him
slip
have
leader
it
and
until he
tap.
was sitting.
So I could make
Okay.
sure she went with
With
me,
your sit.
right? I might even give her a little pop with my let's go
And if you do
command,
it up against the wall, you don't have to worry about his.
right? But you need to
Tons
do
and tons
some
and tons
clearly
of
where
sits
she
up
is
against the
truly
wall
off leash,
While I'm doing my regular.
okay?
Okay?
So,
That way, once this
for
is
healing
perfect, then I can put
specifically,
it right into my
I
heel.
want you to do a little
Alright,
exercise,
so
so we're gonna do it
tons
now.
and tons and tons of
Okay,
reps.
what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a healing pattern,
Meaning
okay?
get the butt
Could be
in,
whatever
up,
healing pattern we want
and
it to
then when
be.
you put it into your heel.
The rule is that
Right? Yeah.
if
Good
the
boy.
dog makes a
And then
mistake, you
also,
correct
If you
her,
watch how he sits,
and then we
not that
start
there's
over.
anything wrong with the way they sit.
Okay.
You can't
But
praise
I
her.
want my
If you
dog
praise her,
to
you gotta start over also.
front feet
If you
straight.
reward her, you gotta start over, right?